What is happening, everybody? My name is Beth, and welcome back to Every Day is Spooktober. Now, we're gonna get straight into this because it's in the title, thumbnail, and I'm not gonna drag this on, but we are going to be reviewing and talking about Wednesday. This is a Netflix show that came out in 2022. Very recently, past few weeks, it's just come out. And there's been a lot of buzz about this show, a lot of people wanting to react. Jenna Ortega's in it, it's made by Tim Burton. It's gone straight to Netflix, and there's only one season, 8 episodes, but people were intrigued. I was intrigued. I'd been hearing about the release of it. I'd been seeing previews and just sort of the hype building up to it. And obviously Wednesday is about the Addams family, and unfortunately I'm not someone who kept up with that, with the films and the TV shows and the different spin-offs and whatever that they've done. I've not actually ever seen any of them. So I felt a bit out of place watching it, thinking this isn't a good place to start because I've not seen anything. I don't know anything about the Addams family. Although you do not really need to have watched the Addams Family to watch this. Just a heads up if you are wanting to watch Wednesday. I found it perfectly fine, entertaining. I was able to understand what was going on. Definitely watching the series now definitely has made me intrigued. So at some point, I think I will go and revisit at least the original, just to pay my respects to the series. Obviously it didn't start off at Wednesday, it started off as the Addams Family, but I have to say I really enjoyed Wednesday. I actually watched it like within an evening. Like I've just been watching it. I've been ill, I've been off ill, so it was just like a time when I was like I was like on the fence about watching it because I was like, I just don't think it's for me. But I wanted to see what the hype was about. And also Tim Burton, like his films, the man, he makes just such amazing films, whether they're animation, whether they're dramas, whatever it may be. His mind is just insane, and I was like, I feel like this is going to be a really fun twist, and it's going to have Tim Burton written all over this show. And that was sort of my main sort of want to actually get into this, is that he was sort of the mastermind behind it. I know everyone's like raving about Jenna Ortega. I know she's been obviously she was in the new Scream, she was in You, she was in X. She's definitely getting out there, and she's still so young, so she's doing pretty well. I wouldn't say I'm a huge fan of her. I mean, like, I think she's a good actor, and I thought she was good in this. I think she fit the part very well to Wednesday. I thought this was entertaining, don't get me wrong. This, for me, when I was watching it, I was like, I would show this TV show to like a 12-year-old. You have like the storyline's very basic. It's very just sort of who done it kind of thing, and I think girls, boys, whoever, anybody would really enjoy this. An adult and their child, somebody young, someone of my age. I enjoyed it, and I think that was sort of a good thing about it, is like in a way it is kind of like a family watch as well as sort of a lone watch. Obviously it's not scary, it's not crazy. I think they throw in a few sort of cuss words every now and then, but it's nothing that you wouldn't show someone under the age of 18. That was the entire time I was thinking, I'm too old for this. This is very high school, which is fine because high school dramas, like shows, films, are always so good. And there's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, I that was my first sort of thoughts when I was watching it. I was like, yeah, this is definitely for an audience that's a lot younger than I am. I'd probably their teens, maybe a bit younger. You have like the crush on Tyler, and then you have the crush with Xavier, and then going to the dance, and Wednesday sort of opening up and falling for Tyler, and going on dates with him and giving him another chance. Like, it's very high school, it's very romance, like it's very young love, which is fine, absolutely fine. That's just what the audience, that's what the series, that's who the series is for. And they made it that way. It definitely would have been interesting if they made this like like an 18 or something like that. It would be crazy what would be going on in this school, like if they recreated it. I appreciate it the way it is. You know, this entire series is all over social media, and don't get me started on freaking TikTok. I open TikTok and every single video is the stupid dance that Jenna Ortega does. Don't get me wrong, she's quirky, she's killing it. I love her dress in the dance scene, but like I do not need to go on TikTok and see people trying to recreate the dance, trying to like, it's gotta stop. It's really gotta stop. Like I've had to kind of stop going on TikTok now because it's really starting to frustrate me. Because every single time I go on TikTok, there's something about the TV show, whether it's a dance, whether it's acting, whether it's like finding a wardrobe similar to Wednesday's. Obviously people love the show. It's got an 8.4 out of 10 on IMDb, which is a very high rating, but then again it is Tim Burton, so what do you expect? A lot of people love this show. It's done very well. I believe it hit like Netflix records of like being the most watched hours or something within a certain time frame. Like this has hit records and people are loving it. So like I said, I enjoyed it. I thought all the characters were so fun. I was engaged. Obviously, if I binge watched it, there was something going on that was right. You know, I think Christina Ricci, who played Marilyn Thornhill, who actually is the original Wednesday, she's the villain of this show. She was the original Wednesday in the very first Addams Family, which I thought was cool that they're bringing, like, they're still trying to entertain like the OG fans, and I'm sure like there's going to be issues, or the OG fans are gonna have a problem with this because it's not going to be the same. It's going to be different than the original will ever be. You know, but I mean that's what kind of happens when you have the different filmmakers kind of putting their own spin on it, on the idea. So I think that was fun to like interpret into it. You know, I think every episode was different. Each one was engaging, and you know, at least 3 to 4 episodes in, when you sort of introduced all the characters, each episode was one step closer to this like mystery and what, you know, solving the mystery of this monster and who it is and what's going on. And I think the plot twist when it's like the monster's Tyler, I think that was quite a funny like plot twist. If I'm quite honest with you, I didn't really think it was going to be him, so it definitely got me, shocked me by, and it got me by surprise, that's for sure. It was executed well, and as soon as it ended, immediately go onto Google and looked up, is there going to be a season 2, because it sort of ends on a cliffhanger. Like there's more information for us to know, so I do hope that it does. Although there's not been any talk about it yet, I know it's been very popular, which can obviously push sort of filmmakers and production companies to put stuff out when things are very popular. You know, I think there's so much more to explore as well with Wednesday. Like there were so many routes that this series could have gone down, and the way that it went down was absolutely fine with me. But I also think it could take so many other roads and could explore more characters more in depth. You know, and I think that's what it's missing. I think it could have been a few episodes longer, and I think it could have gone more into depth of certain characters, you know. Like, I know the point is to sort of like keep Tyler on the lowdown, because obviously he's the monster, he kills people, he's doing the killing. You know, I think it would have been interesting to find out more about him, so maybe it would have like thrown you off even more that it wasn't him. Because I did see some other people's like reactions and stuff to this, and some people did actually kind of guess quite early on that it was Tyler. They got big brains, clearly I don't. I just didn't suspect it was him. I think I was just rooting so much for Wednesday and Tyler to get together and to develop a relationship. I was like, I want this to work, and I wasn't even thinking that it was going to be him. But unfortunately it was. You know, I think every 15-year-old girl is crushing on Tyler. He is an attractive guy. Pretty sure he's gay though in real life, which, sorry ladies, he's taken, but no, yeah, like he played a really good role in character as well. Every time he came on screen, he was always that like fun, like giggly, like cool guy. And I think him and Wednesday together like works so well. Like, I would love to see like somehow them to figure out this whole creature thing, and then Tyler go back to normal, and then Tyler and Wednesday get together. I would love to see that. That would be interesting to explore that even more. You know, and I think just to sort of wrap this all up, I have to say Tim Burton, amazing. The vibes were so dark and gloomy, and it just had the Tim Burton look, feel, atmosphere in every single scene, and I absolutely loved it. Love Tim Burton so much, and all of his work, I absolutely adore it. So I loved seeing what he was doing with this, and although this was more sort of upbeat, like, you know, teenage drama, I still think it had those like dark gloomy effects that he has in his other films. Like immediately I was like, Corpse Bride, Nightmare Before Christmas, I was like, the same vibe is going on here, the same vibe. Edward Scissorhands, the same vibe. It was just, it was cool to see. It was so cool to see. Visually I loved it and I enjoyed it so much. You know, I think Jenna Ortega plays Wednesday very well. Obviously, I have nothing to compare it to, but like her mood, her like the way Wednesday is a big mood all day, every day. I really appreciate how blunt, how abrupt, how rude, how straight to the point and emotionless she is, because that is what we need more of in 2023. But I loved it. I loved the part that she played, and it was just, it was an entertaining show, and I enjoyed it, and I want to know more. I guess it's like kind of my guilty pleasure because it's definitely not for 23-year-olds, but we still live, we're part of the fandom. I'm hoping for a season 2, and I hope the things that I've said about this, predictions, could definitely hopefully come true. I would love to see a bit more Wednesday and Tyler, maybe even Xavier, because obviously he gave her a phone at the end of the season and put his phone number in it, which was kind of cute. But yeah, I don't know, we'll see what happens. But yeah, that was my review on Wednesday. I rated this a 7 out of 10. It was super fun, absolutely loved it, easy watch, and it made me feel better when I was ill, which is so important. It's definitely one of those comfort shows, I feel like, and I'm gonna definitely revisit it. So thank you so much for watching. Do not forget to subscribe, and I will see you on the next one.